Walking around.
Speaking of Caleb Plant, he has arrived on the scene here. The former IBF super middleweight champion. And Caleb, as they get the apparatus around you, I've been marveling all build to this fight. Not necessarily the trash talk, although I've enjoyed it, but your focus, your confidence level, it's almost like sadistic.
It's different.
Like, does it come in a jar? Because I'd like to take one of those once per day. Be honest with us here. I know you're going to say, well, I believe in myself. I put in the hard work. We know that. But deep inside, dude, you've got almost like a scary level of confidence right now. Why?
I've been doing this for a long time at a really high level. And, I've always succeeded at the highest level in boxing, whether it's from the amateurs, Golden Glove National Championship, Olympic alternate, Olympic trials. And then obviously, moving through the pros, the fight with Jose Uzcategui, I was an underdog, year layoff, coming off a broke hand. I came in and did what I did, got my hand raised, became champ. Against Darrell, coming off the Canelo loss, almost a year layoff, came back, did what I did. And then even with Canelo, it didn't wind up not going my way, but I know the type of work I put in and the success that I did have. And, that was a hostile environment. That was a hostile crowd.
We were there. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, and so, coming out the other side of that with the success that I had, it made me feel like I was a step further away from accomplishing my goals. It made me feel like I was just one step closer. And so I'm feeling good. I'm locked in. I'm zoned in. I'm focused. But I'm relaxed. I'm balanced. I'm centered.
Give us a sense of the Breadman effect, right? So you have this layoff, and then you fight Darrell, and then you send him to the land of wind and ghosts, and everyone's like, oh, Breadman's going to give him all this new offense.
Yeah, Caleb, I didn't see that knockout coming, by the way. I don't think a lot of us did. It was pretty spectacular here, so this question adds some fuel to that.
So what we're saying is we always knew you were a strong defensive fighter, but that was like a new component. Is it just on the offensive side, or what exactly does Breadman bring to the team?
You don't just develop all that crazy power in, one camp. That's obviously something I possess. I've sparked people out before and starched them where they're just snoozing. And but Breadman has definitely brought new things to the table and reiterated and echoed a lot of things that my dad has been wanting and been asking for and been wanting from me. And so Breadman, he's a great coach, and he has brought some of that Philly grit and, just teaching me small things. And at the highest level, it's the small things. I'm obviously a great boxer with a tremendous amount of IQ and, a lot of athleticism. So it's just those small tweaks in my game that can make a big difference, especially at this level. And, you guys obviously seen that against Darrell, and being able to have a back-to-back camp finally after a long, a few years, I'm only going to get better and better because it was 11 months from Canelo to Darrell. It was 11 months from Caleb Truax to Canelo. It was 11 months from Feigenbutz to Truax. So, finally getting a back-to-back camp, you're going to see the best Caleb Plant you guys have seen yet.
I can't wait.
Yeah, look, I gotta go even further on this from this mindset factor. I can tell you're into mental warfare. On the basketball courts, I used to, I'd draw a grown man to raise a fist once in a while just to get in his head.
Okay.
You've been poking this bear, and this is a scary bear. You want to play the matador to this bull. I'm feeling this is calculated.
Well, you call him scary, and this is no knock on you, but you guys are civilians.
Very true.
I'm not a civilian, so he don't scare me. I don't care what he brings to the table. It's not about what he brings to the table to me. What do I bring to the table? What am I capable of? What can I do? And so he's had a lot to say about me, him and his dad. But I'm not concerned with that. I'm focused, like I said. I'm balanced. I'm centered. And Saturday night, you guys are going to see the best Caleb Plant you've seen yet.
You watch a lot of tape?
I do. I watch a lot of tape, whether it be fights of my own, fights of, fighters of the past, even fighters of this era that I'm fans of. And I study a lot of film. Yeah.
All right. So I know you're not going to tell the game plan, so I'm not going to ask. But what I will ask is something a little bit more general. What are you up against in David Benavidez? What is the task to be solved?
Well, David's a good fighter. And, he finally gave me a little credit down there when Brian asked.
Yeah.
But even at the LA press conference, he wants to act like I'm a bum and, that I'm not this and I'm not that. Well, you're not going to hear that from me because I know David's a good fighter, and that's all I'm interested in facing is good fighters, not just for boxing but for the fans. And like I said up there, most importantly, my legacy. And so David's a good fighter. He's got some attributes and offensively and defensively. And but I'm one of the best in the sport at setting traps. And going back to the Darrell thing, that was something that Darrell kept doing over and over, and he kept doing it the same way. And, so I just kept doing it, setting the trap until I felt like it was time to go. And, he never changed his defensive responsibilities. And that was a major cost for him. So if David's not on all his P's and Q's come Saturday night, then I'll just keep laying traps until I catch him.
What about this idea he goes back to, like, you've never faced a puncher like him? You believe that?
No. Who has he ever sparked out?
David Lemieux. Well, he didn't spark him out, but the referee intervened.
The referee intervened.
Porky Medina.
Did he spark him out?
That was about an 18-punch combination.
Yeah, which is nice. But the specific question is, who has he sparked out?
I'm not sure. BC?
Not off the top of my head. I mean...
Yeah, so what I'm saying is he's not some huge one-punch knockout power type of guy. He's a volume puncher. That's his greatest asset. He's a volume puncher. And so, for him to try and build this up, maybe he's trying to make me scared of his power now, this newfound power he has, but he's not a one-punch knockout power. He doesn't punch as hard as Canelo. He doesn't punch as hard as Jose Uzcategui. He's a volume puncher. So... But, hey, if he feels like he's this big, one-punch knockout power guy, more power to him.
Well, look, you've given him the respect because you know the challenge you're up against, and you respect that challenge. I mean, he's the betting favorite. Let's talk about, we know what's going on there. But so his skills, are on your level. You're two elite fighters.
No, they're not on my level.
Okay, that's fair. But I wanted to ask you more, do you believe he's on your level on the intangible area? If this becomes, a drag-out fight, does he have the same gas tank? Does he have the same will that you are confident that you have, where if this fight goes off game plan for either one of you, do you feel like he can still be standing with you at the end?
I don't feel like he has the same willpower as me, no. I willed myself here through a lot of things that people are giving up on, and I don't need some pity party or nothing like that, but that's the facts. I willed myself here. I've built the world to my will. And Saturday night, I'm going to get my hand raised.
So it sounds like you relish this underdog role a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, I mean...
You want the credit, but at the same time, you kind of like sticking it to people, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy sticking it to people for sure. But
whose idea was the DavidBenavidez.com thing? Was that your idea?
That was me. Yeah, I bought that back in like 2018, 2019. And,
did you really?
Really?
Yeah.
You were just sitting on a gold mine.
I was sitting on it the whole time. I knew we would fight one day, and I was just keeping that card in my back pocket for when the time came, and then I knew that I could just link that to my website. And then, drop the collection, the Revenge Tour collection on it. And just the marketing alone between all the Instagram and YouTube, just the marketing alone pushed it so far forward that I made a lot of money off that week, off the pre-sale.
Well, you've got good merch in a sport where you don't always see that. But I went to the DavidBenavidez.com looking at the Caleb Plant merch. It's all sold out. What's going on here?
Yeah, well, you got to restock.
No. I only keep it open for a week. I do a pre-sale for a week. You make your order. After that, it's closed. And, I don't re-release collections, so you got to get it while it's hot, or you're going to miss out on that forever.
Well, I know your beef with the Benavidez family isn't just David, but did you catch Creed 3? You got a review of the acting work of one Jose Jr. or what?
No, I haven't seen it. I came out during camp, and I'm not one to go out much in camp. I just stay in the house, study, train, rest.
It's about that life, Luke.
Did the camp change at all, bringing in a new trainer? Like, how did does he just do X's and O's? Like, how much was that a factor?
No, he's really great at X's and O's, just like my dad, but he also, just like my dad, believes in hard work. And so the grinding has gone to a new level when he came in. And that's what we were trying to do beforehand, but, other people had different ideas, and, as a head coach, those are to somewhat be respected. But I've really enjoyed having Breadman in camp. He's an easy guy to get along with, but, he don't take no bullshit, and he expects you to work hard, and that's right up me and my dad's alley. And that's why you guys have seen a new and an improved Caleb Plant. Then not for this camp, even though I got knockout of the year last time, I still moved forward and brought in Tony Brady on the strength side and kept Coach Wade as my conditioning coach on the track. And Tony Brady, he's worked with the likes of Andre Ward for most of his career, Diego Corrales, Joel Casamayor, Jeff Lacey, and many others. And even though that I had that knockout the way I did, I still knew that I could improve. And that's one thing that, I give myself a pat on the back for, is I'm always looking for ways to improve and always looking for ways to get better regardless of the success that I have.
I was also going to add, just on top, like, you're always in good shape. It seems like you're in extra good shape for this one in particular, no?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure y'all seen the video and the picture, and but I'm in good shape for all fights. I don't wait on the big moment to get here before I start working hard. I'm really, you hear me say, I've worked really hard this camp. I'm really motivated this camp. I don't have to have the right opponent in front of me for me to do what I'm supposed to do. I got such a love and a passion for this sport. I respect this culture. I respect the boxing culture. I respect this sport so much that and the window is so small. You got to do everything right, and that's just to have a chance at this level. You got to do every single thing right, and that's just to have a chance. And I don't leave things a chance.
All right, let's close with this. This division is red hot, and if Jamal Charlo moves up, we could have more names going on here. We've got Morrell, we've got Andrade, we've got so many. Is getting the win here more about just shutting up this chapter and this rivalry that's been going on for years, or is it more about running that back against Canelo as well and trying to prove something to yourself, to critics, that you can be better than the last performance, in your only defeat, which was great, and we thought you were admirable there, but I know that you want to run back and make it better. Is this more about ending this Benavidez beef, or is this more about what's coming up ahead?
It's about a handful of things. It's about being able to move forward and right or wrong. But most importantly, it's about you guys, all y'all say that he's one of the best. And that's who I want to fight. And whoever I fight, I'm getting my hand raised.
Let me ask one more question. What do you say to all the boxers who sometimes don't necessarily want to lean into these kinds of challenges, don't want to make these big fights for whatever reason, the money, the situation, whatever. You guys are taking on risk to do this. What do you have to say to people who aren't necessarily embracing that similar kind of challenge?
Those are the ones who won't be remembered. And, they'll never be talked about. They'll never be remembered. And, through my life, it's like I've lost certain people in my life, and the next day the whole world forgets about them. And one of the reasons I grind so hard is that I know one day my time is going to expire, but, I want my name to live on. I want to push my name forward, and not my first name, my last name. And, just be someone that even after I'm gone, fighters can look to, and, whether it be the way I work, the way I train, the way I was disciplined and dedicated, the bond, the domain, whatever, drop an action figure, just whatever it is. Look to me, and, you can use whatever I've done, or you can take what I've done and push it forward and make it even better. That's what it's about.
That's Caleb Plant, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Showtime pay-per-view, Benavidez Plant. You can order it right now, showtime.com/PPV. But for Luke Thomas and Caleb Sweet Hands Plant, I'm Brian Campbell. Thank you for joining us.